everyone, we are in the losers bracket, Group A of the Murky Cup. So guys, as usual, we're obviously jumping right away into our first game of the day, and we'll talk a bit about the Murky Cup and the special rule set as well. Before we do that, I want to give a huge shout out to D4's Light and to Razalaf, because the two of them on the live stream just absolutely killed it. Lots of gifted subs, big thank you for the support. And also a shout out to D4's Light in particular, who just gave a massive contribution to the crowdfunding pool for the Bounty Cup as well. So that at least deserves an honorably note here. But yeah, huge support from the two of them, incredibly appreciated, so thanks a lot. With that, we're jumping into the first game of our best of 3 series. We are in the losers bracket right now of Group A, meaning whichever team loses is already out of the running for the next spot for the playoffs. We still have a last chance qualifier. Not something you really want to rely upon. It's making it a whole lot more difficult for you to actually qualify. But let's talk a bit about the Murky Cup in and of itself and the system that we use here. So if you haven't caught any of the games that we had thus far, we have, as usual, the rule that a hero can only be played once within a series, meaning that if you see any hero played within a best of 3 or a best of 5, the same hero can't be played again. So every hero in the first game, all of the 10 that get played, cannot be picked again by any of the teams. Creates a little bit more hero diversity and forces the team to think a bit outside of the box. But of course there's another element to all of this as well, and that is the bounty system that we have. So as you can see here, we have a lot of bounties that the teams can complete. Bounties are essentially just quests that the teams can try and accomplish, win a game with Butcher, win a game with Cho'Gall, and then if they achieve that, they get a bounty point, they get a ticket, and they can accumulate a lot of those over the course of the tournament. So each of these bounties that you currently see on stream can be completed by each of the teams one time. If a team tries a bounty and they fail, they still get a half point. You can fail a bounty as many times as you want because, I mean, again, it means that you lost the map. So obviously, this is not really a strategy to try and get bounty points for yourself because it would mean that you're losing all your games. But teams can do this optionally with the quests. And what they're doing by trying for these bounties is dipping into a second prize pool. So we have a normal prize pool for the tournament of 1,000 euros for the top teams as usual. And then we have the bounty pool. And teams will get a share of that bounty pool dependent on how many bounties they completed and how many bounties were completed just in total. And that share obviously is then being calculated at the end of the tournament. So that makes it a little bit interesting for teams to just try and complete a couple of these things, makes the games a lot of fun. But of course they don't have to do that. They can also simply look at the tournament and say, we don't care about bounties, we just care about winning. We are going to go for the best team composition that we can throw together. We don't want to have a handicap like this, and we are aiming for the win in the tournament itself, and therefore the actual prize money. So it gives you the best out of both worlds, I want to say, and it's actually quite a bit of fun. There's a couple of nuances around the bounties, of course, too, so if you have any questions about the system, feel free to throw them into the comments if you're watching this on YouTube, for example. Normally, we talk a lot about it on the live stream itself, but if the YouTube viewers have any kind of questions around it, then, hey, feel free to post a comment and ask, and I'm going to do my best to answer them as quickly as I can. If you watch this on YouTube, also give the video a thumbs up. Again, it helps to spread, with the help of the YouTube algorithm, the videos around a little bit more. And we've had a lot of former Heroes players and people that were part of the community getting back into it because they, for example, saw some of the videos that went viral lately. So even the thumbs up helps a lot. But in game number 1 of our series here, we have the Green Cats going up against Team RIP Infernal Shrines. And just looking at this, we have now Dehaka and Johanna, so already a lot of presence with AoE on the Shrines for the Cats. We get Anduin together with that. Could make for the engage even with Johanna if she goes into Falling Sword, which to be fair we have seen a few times, but it's not really all that common anymore. Back in the day when Anna was like the big thing on the healer side, Jojo with the Falling Sword was something that we've actually seen a lot, but these days it's all about the Blessed Shield, of course, with the occasional Falling the Sword thrown in as well. And it seems that Team RIP wants to go for some bounty hunting. They go for Probius. So, winning a game with Probius is one of the bounties, and we have seen Probius a few times already on Infernal Shrines now. Probius can actually really pack a punch in these shrine fights because it's all centered around like a small restricted area where Probius can really shine with some AoE. So this is not really an attempt that is happening for the first time here, but let's see if they can complete it. We got Ophia and we have Kerrigan. So no bounty attempt from the Green Cats. they're currently in a position where they definitely just want to qualify for the playoffs. So they're trying to go as deep as they possibly can here and have foregone all signs of heading into a bounty, trying to complete one, and instead just go for the strongest comp that they can find here. Orphea plus Kerrigan, you have a triple front line now, you have Anduin with a light bomb engage, and then with the last and final pick for Team Rip, we are getting more damage. It's gonna be Thrall. So, triple front line for them as well. Probius as the range damage dealer, so to say. And with that, we're setting things up. Game number 1, we're heading straight for Infernal Shrines. Game number 1, we have our first map in, and on the left side, Sven on Brightwing. Well, that's a new one. That is not something that I expected. Sven is playing Brightwing. We got Bloodcool on Hogger, Vasilisco on Probius, Azzy on Thrall, and Krankle on Murden. So for the blue team, we have a sub today, which I guess is also what explains that Sven is now playing the support. Bloodcool is subbing in for them. As over on the right side, we have the Green Cats with Pudgenox on Dehaka. We have Kerrigan played by Monkey, Timothy on Orphea, Gildyspark on Anduin, and Wit is on Johanna. So, let's get this show on the road. And look at that, we have the Echo of Elements on level 1. Curious to see if this is having an impact on this level 7 talent for Thrall. I'm still a huge Ancestral Wrath fan, but there is obviously a chance that if you go for Echo of Elements that they're trying to go for follow-through. So we'll keep an eye on that. One thing that I wanted to point out as well is that we have actually, where is he? On Kerrigan, Monkey, the OG Samuro. If you are an old school HGC viewer, then you know that Ethereal Angel at some point played Samuro for a little bit in HGC, and I think the Samuro craze lasted for about 2 weeks, maybe 3. And during that time frame, Samuro was actually insanely annoying, oftentimes even played with Abathur. And after that, teams learned how to properly react to Samuro and how to deal with him. But initially, it was a huge issue for a lot of teams, and they were super annoyed by it. And Ethereal Angel basically got that whole thing and that playstyle from Monkey. Monkey himself, never in HGC, but again, that is something that Ethereal Angel back then got from him. So here we got the OG, not on Samuro to be fair, but we have him on Kerrigan. And yeah, it's actually kind of, it's a little bit of a throwback here. I like it. So Monkey in action, trying to get the Kerrigan plays in, as Thrall is trying to complete his quest here, obviously. Haven't seen that one in a long time. It was the standard for ages to go for Echo of Elements, and later on, when you hit your level 16 talent, for example, there's quite a lot of synergy that you can unfold with that too. You can really pack a punch, but these days it's mostly the Trolling Thunder whenever we're getting any kind of Thrall plays. I mean, sometimes Trash Lightning, depending on the map that we're playing on. But yeah, definitely something to also point out in that context. Now, with Kerrigan in play, the light bomb aggression could be super interesting around those shrines. So we're going to keep an eye on that. And since this is, of course, the lower bracket, it's kind of important which team is going to be able to make it. Only one of them trying for a bounty right now, so giving themselves that little handicap. Whereas for the red team, it's all about victory at this point. And obviously, with the sub on the blue team side, and Sven now playing Brightwing, that's also an interesting one. So we're going to get a bit of an insight into how strong the support plays are from Sven. Camps obviously timed around the objective, spawning down at the bottom of the map, where they can start to set things up. We are currently looking at also Mana Tide on level 4, the Photon Barrier again for Probius. I feel like the Probius build is mostly set in the games that we're seeing on Infernal Shrines, at least from the teams that have played him so far. We've always seen the same one. Pudgenox is coming in and is trying for a cheeky lick, but it doesn't get it. They're trying to take the camp out here. But the shrine is already up, so if the red team really wants a taste of this, they need to make their way over there. And that's exactly what Dehaka is now doing. Murden, though, hits the Stormbolt. They're trying to get some damage in. Probius, a bit on the squishy side, but is able to get away from Jojo as she tries to move in with Condemn. Level 7 isn't ready for the teams, but we have the blue team with a small lead on shrine minions, as their opponents are now starting to make their move and trying to equalize the situation. Kerrigan hasn't joined the fun yet either. That shouldn't really take too long. He has the level 7 talents on both sides. And slowly but steadily, the Green Cats are starting to take control here. With level 7, Thrall has gone into the Ancestral Wrath again. Muradin gets blown up first, taken down by the Schoolgirl. Orphea with a big hit, and that should give them the first objective. A 5 versus 4 situation with Brightwing not even participating in that brawl either. Still sitting at the top and forcing Dehaka to react too. But with now 39 stacks, this is going to be Punisher number 1 in the hands of the Green Cats. So they're going to get the lead here after the first objective. Always assuming that they can make up for the damage that has been done at the top lane where the wall has been destroyed. Brightwing pushing the waves through, of course. But down here, the bait over the wall already successful. And the defense is actually not looking too bad. That is a bit questionable if the team can do the same amount of damage, and currently doesn't really look like it. Carrigan, at least in the mid lane, got some extra XP and forces the minion wave now in. They can also try and set a small trap here. In experience, it's still the same, but structurally speaking, this was a bit of a win for Team Rip. Nothing crazy, I mean, again, just like a wall that fell. Carrigan was at least able to push in the middle. It's noteworthy that the Green Cats, now that they're taking Sven down here on Brightwing and are able to drop the hero, that the Green Cats were actually pushing on 3 lanes. So it's not like they're 5-manning the bot lane and didn't even get the wall, but with Brightwing eliminated, they can now move into the middle and are very, very quickly starting to destroy a few of the towers here. And can, of course, hope to follow this up with a bit more action. Wit gets attacked too, is a little bit low. They are nearly body blocking him here. I don't know what exactly Wit did, if he insulted his mom or something, but Pachinox for a second was just body blocking the hell out of him, and you could literally just see Wit was like, help, let me go past, body block the other guy, eat that Stormbolt if you have to, but at least let me get out of the way. Level 10 abilities kick in a little bit sooner for Team Rip, and they're trying to use it to steal the camp away. But now we have it on both sides. That gives us again the Ultralas, and they're fighting for the spot. And they're doing work here. Brightwing is coming in too, gets immediately targeted and falls. Brightwing is gone, but Monkey falls as well. With Orphea destroyed, this is all of a sudden a 4 versus 3. They're trying to at least go for Azzy and take Thrall down. The pings are happening. Nobody's going for it though. Instead we're seeing Wit being destroyed, and Anduin falls as well. So all of a sudden, the team is essentially completely taken apart. At least Dehaka was able to drop Thrall, so that's the good news. But utter carnage here over the camp. The two teams trying to make a stand, and boy oh boy, death was just raining down on all of them. Dehaka, the only survivor on the side of the Green Cats, and I suppose it's still pretty decent that he at least got Thrall. This would have been way worse for them if he didn't at least get that kill. Initially looked fantastic for the Green Cats. They got the first kill on Brightwing pretty much immediately, so there was not a lot of healing left, but then the rest of the team went absolutely ham on this. Now, Camps again being targeted here. We also got the Null Gate for Probius, so that's the pick on that side for the Probe. And again, Probius is essentially the only range damage dealer for them. At this point, we have currently 9,000 damage for Orphea, but look at what Probius brings to the table. 16,000 damage already. Hogger sitting at 13k. So, yeah, there is a lot here. Now, Wit instantly trying to get the wave clear going against the minion wave. Shrine is activating in a second. Kerrigan still sitting at the top. We have all the ults available. So right now, I want to see that Kerrigan action. I want to see Monkey in full aggro form moving in and trying to take them out. The problem for the red team is that they don't have level 13 talents yet. Whereas we now have Pummel for Hogger, we have Bronzebeard Rage for Muradin, Probius has gone into the shield battery, and Hogger is just going dong 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 dong, and it's just spinning around. And they're getting a lot of stacks here. With 13 finally kicking in for the Green Cats, now they can make an approach. Brightwing at the top lane, Dehaka down at the bottom. The red team is way behind on stacks, but now they're trying to come in and win that fight. Hogger is spinning completely out of control here. Tries the shockwave, hits 2, hits 3. Sundering is already out. And yeah, Orphea with a bit of damage, not enough. The Punisher already claimed. Kerrigan, mega low, and she's not the only one. The entire team is low and about to die. They somehow make it out. And Dehaka, the only survivor earlier, is going for a quick drag. Orphea tries to escape, nearly taken out by the Punisher. Dehaka falls, but they can still try and defend. I just don't think that they're going to be back in time towards that fort to prevent it from falling, because there's just too much damage being done. Kerrigan has already moved towards the top lane, trying to prevent the next fort from falling, but there's so much momentum for Team Rip right now. And the entire red team was mega low, had to tap the fountain before they could do anything here. Now they're losing the wall at the keep too. Yeah, that one was tough. That one was really tough for the Green Cats. I mean, they are in trouble here, and particularly Kerrigan is in a world of pain and goes down. The counter kill on the other hand against Hogger or Fia with some big damage, and now they're going for a body block on Thrall, trying to get a kill here. Hasn't worked out for them yet, and they just can't close the distance to connect. Oh, well, actually, they might be able to. Where's that lick when you need it? Not coming through. Stormbolt shuts down Pudge Nox, and no chance for the Haka to make a play here. For Thrall, we have 18,000 damage. That's the same amount that Orphea, the top damage dealer for the red team, has now. Down at the bottom of the map, Sven, Vasilisco already sitting tight. We have Krankle just waiting in the wings for somebody to make the approach, and with their experience they're going to get level 16 in a moment. So this is going to give them a huge advantage for any of the potential upcoming team fights. With 2 forts destroyed, the blue team can now try and focus their attention onto the bottom fort, and that's very likely exactly what they're going to do. Here comes also the synergy with Thunderstorm, so the completed level 1 talent for Thrall is going to give him a lot more utility and damage combined with that 60 talent that he picked here, so as he can start to poke a lot in that context. And they are burning those waves down pretty quickly, trying to poke the heroes too, and obviously the whole idea here is to just take out the fort, the final fort of the red team. And I do not think that the Cats are going to make a play here. The Haka is still sitting in the middle and has to defend against the mercenary camps that were claimed. And the fort down at the bottom of the map is slowly falling. So they are poking this down as we speak. And with the next minion wave, they should be able to take it. Jojo is attempting to create as much space as she possibly can in that situation. But as you can already tell from the hit points, this thing is falling slowly and steadily. And with Thrall now about to complete that quest for the time being, we're also getting him with more and more damage in and more utility out of that tool. So this is something that they don't really want to go up against. Thrall is already now at 21,000 damage, so his damage output is now eclipsing what we're seeing from Orphea, for example. So just him poking a little bit with those talents is already helping him a lot. Shrine number 3 is spawning at the top lane. That should actually be the Frozen Punisher, the first Frozen Punisher that we're getting for this game. And only one of the 2 teams still has a fallback option in form of that fort, so they can still go in and try and use their fountain. It's kind of funny, by the way, that Wit is currently sitting over here and they never spotted Murd, and camp is about to be claimed. And yeah, Wit eats the Stormbolt, still totally fine, of course. But now that the Shrine is activating, teams at least are both on level 16. And, well, this is something where the Green Cats, they have to start making some plays here. This is starting to become troublesome. If they lose this one now as well, they could potentially lose a keep here. So they really need to try and make a play. Probius with a Quantum Entanglement now. And, yep, up at the top, the Haka misses the lick. And here comes Azzy, they go for the Haka. Comes in with Burrow, and they get the kill. Probius is gone. Only a dead probe is a good probe. Ask any Zerg player out there, they all can confirm that. I mean, who doesn't hate Protoss? I mean, Protoss, the universally hated race. They're just bleh. I mean, Trump is a Protoss player. 100%. Like, if you ask the Donald what race he prefers, what he plays in StarCraft, I like Protoss. They're gold. They're awesome, and they are very difficult to play. Some say they are the most difficult race to play. You have to A-click and then behind the opponent, and it's really hard. People say it's easy, it's not. It's very hard, but they're gold. I like Protoss. Protoss is amazing. They're incredible. So, yeah, the probe is gone, and, well, Orphea is about to go down. So, ooh, yep, that's a kill. Orphea is gone, 7 kills to 6. The Frozen Punisher at least has been taken by the blue team because the Haka was using his PhD in PvE at the top lane and didn't join the team for any kind of fight. The problem is that with Anduin being destroyed, it also takes down Kerrigan a second later. So you might have a Punisher up at the top lane that does a huge amount of damage here. but you're losing a keep in the process, and I'm not sure if that's really worth it. You might even lose the game right now. So congratulations, Dehaka. Nicely done. That's a fort that likely falls, but you might lose the game. I mean, again, he got some value out of it, but I think this last objective kind of fell apart a bit on the side of the Green Cats. So it's a bit unfortunate. With this, it seems that Team Rip is going to lock in the first victory in the best of 3 series. And yep, there it is. They complete the Probius bounty and lock in the W on Infernal Shrines. The Green Cats now down 1 map in the series. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Battlefield of Eternity, map number 2. So, let's go. Team Rip is in the lead. 10 heroes have been played and cannot be picked again. But we still... And we have a completed bounty. Yeah, Probius bounty was completed for Team Rip. Now, of course, the question, what can the Green Cats do to bring this one back? So, once again, a quick reminder about the bounties, just as we're heading into our second map. I think there's a good chance that at least Team Rip, as they are now ahead, will try for another bounty here. Once again, also a shout out to everybody that so far contributed to the crowdfunding for that bounty pool. There is a link in the description where you can also contribute if you want to. Again, once that we are hitting 1,000 euros on the bounty pool, that's the same, which would mean we are matching the actual prize pool for the top teams. Anything that would go above it will be used for the next tournament. So we will have more tournaments with the bounty system over the course of the year. We will maybe have also a couple of iterations depending on what you guys prefer. For example, with bounties, I actually highlighted that example in another match. The Abatha Locust build is something that a lot of people suggested, and they prefer to see that over Abatha Monstrosity as a bounty. So we actually changed this. So if you have anything that you want to suggest as a bounty that you think would be a cool thing, you are welcome to post that into the comments on the YouTube videos or wherever. But keep in mind that the idea is to keep the bounties simple. It's not supposed to be too convoluted where you have to chain 3 different abilities together or something along those lines. So just as a bit of a side note. But if there is a cool idea and people agree on it, you can always upvote comments, for example, when you see a suggestion that you like. Then we'll take a closer look at it and see if we can implement it in future tournaments where we use the bounty system, which is obviously the plan here. But again, everybody that would like to contribute to the bounty pool and to the tournaments here can go into the description of the video. There is a link to the crowdfunding there directly. And again, comments if you want to make any suggestions in the context. Now, with our game slowly shaping up here, we got on Battlefield of Eternity, Samuro again banned. This, by the way, is basically the Monkey respect ban. Monkey, I don't want to call it a one-trick pony anymore. He is definitely very known for Samuro though, so it's a little bit on the one-trick pony side, but everybody knows his Samuro and everybody is annoyed by his Samuro. So you would be a bit of a fool to just simply give Samuro over to the red team with that player in their roster. That's why Samuro was banned on the first map, and that's why Samuro is now banned as well. So this is just one of those things that you will see against players that have a key hero. I mean, with Disciple, for example, we've seen that a couple of times now as well, where you ban out Ophia if you can. And we get an insta-double support on the side of Team Rip, so this could actually be a triple support bounty that they're trying to go for here. Uther and Anna are locked in immediately. And yeah, triple healer as a bounty is a thing. And with them starting with a double healer and Uther potentially doubling as the main tank for them, they could definitely pull that off. The one thing that makes me wonder a little bit about their intentions is that they haven't picked Vala as an early choice, which could now be banned out by the Green Cats. So if the whole idea here is to have a hyper carry like Vala and really just unleash her, then yeah, picking her early might have been the way to go. Now, if you're looking at auto attackers, you can obviously always go for Sol'Jin as well, if it's just the intent of going for a stacking hero and allowing them to just increase their power levels. So that could be the other hero to pick if Vala gets banned, and if they wanted to go down that path. If not, then there's a couple of other choices that they could make as well. But it wouldn't shock me now if the Green Cats, for example, decided that they want to ban either Vala or Sol'Jin here. They themselves have already taken Li Ming, Urel on the side lane, and now we have Lucio. And yeah, Let's see what the choice on the bans is, because the same thing has to go now through their heads as well. I mean, they're clearly thinking about along the same lines now. They know the bounty list as well as you and I do. Here's the Vala ban, and now I just want to see if the blue team is going for Suljin, or if they are going for something completely different. And again, this is still all under the assumption that we're getting a triple healer for them, simply based on the fact that they lock 2 healers in immediately. So, we'll see. Yep, there's the 3rd healer. We get Rhaegar. And now just the question, what are we gonna get for damage? Suljin. There he is. They had to pick him now, because if they don't pick Suljin at this point, there's a chance that the Green Cats just pick him away. Which might not be a pick that they would normally go for, but it would just be one of those denied choices where you're trying to steal the opponent's composition a bit, or take some crucial element away from the composition. So now we have that triple support, and they still need a bit of melee, but the intention is clear. Just keep Suljin alive, let him stack, let him go as aggressive as he wants to, and make your play around that. Alarak and Sergeant Hammer on the other side. So that's a wild comp too. Okay. Who needs a front line? Urel main tank is what we essentially are getting. Yeah, that's an interesting one too. Again, they are reacting obviously to what they're seeing on the other side. So now that we're heading into map number 2, which is match point of course in the best of 3, we have our final choice, the final hero to be picked on the blue team side, and it is Chromie. Uther as a main tank replacement, then the double support behind it, triple support in total, and then Suljin and Chromie as we're heading into Battlefield of Eternity. It's a wild draft for a wild game. Let's see which team is able to take it. So, here we are. We have Battlefield of Eternity ahead of us, and the comp is wild. We have Sven on Rhaegar. We get Krankle on Uther, Vasilisco on Ana. Azzy is playing Suljin for the team, and Bloodcool on Chromie. So, clearly going for the triple support bounty. And over on the right side, we have Pudgenox on Sergeant Hammer for the Green Cats, who now have to win 2 in a row if they don't want to drop out of the group. We have Timothy on Liming, Guilty Spark on Lucio, Wit is playing Urel, and Monkey on Alarak. So, this one is gonna be interesting. Suljin comes in with the Bone Slicer immediately as his level 1. And they are going to try and just brawl this out as best as they can. Already some top lane pressure, by the way. Oh, against Rhaegar. Bloodcool is helping out as well, as Gnomi is trying to do her thing here against Monkey, who is not going into a lightning build. It's kind of sad. I like the things, I like the quest talents that we get, but there's not going to be at that level 4. Sergeant Hammer is helping out too, so they're starting to come in here with advanced archery on level 1, and that hammer got destroyed quickly. That is not how they were envisioning the early game. That was a quick one. He basically laubered before the 1 minute mark passes, and we already have the hero dying. So Sergeant Hammer is gone. Yeah, that was a bit unexpected, I would assume. Chromie just destroyed this completely, and then Rhaegar went in for the last bite and just jumped straight onto the tank. So that was the end of that. Down at the bottom of the map, not really too much happening. So far, Suljin hasn't been able to get any meaningful stats here. We'll see how that baseline is going to evolve as time continues, and we're heading into some actual immortal fights. But yeah, that was an interesting one. So, Krankle with Uther now. Again, Uther obviously doubling as a tank. So if you're not really familiar with Uther main tank, this is not only a meme, but this is actually something that has been played a lot. You can do that if you're looking for a double support and you don't want to sacrifice too much there. Uther still as melee has a stun and has some tools. He has a lot of survivability, and his healing and sustain can obviously then act also as a double healer. So in this case, he is playing as the tank for the team, with 2 additional supports for the bounty behind him. So tons of sustain for them, which is also the reason why they decided to go with 2 additional damage dealers. So now we have Suljin and we have Chromie. They have the damage output that they need in order to get kills here, but are kept alive by the rest of the team. And yeah, a couple of stacks are now slowly coming together on the baseline for Suljin. The first objective, of course, about to be announced as well. The team has already started to move over to their Shaman camp to claim that. We see the same over on the right side as Pudge Nox and Guilty Spark are trying to take the Shaman camp down. We get the regenerative Biosteel for Sergeant Hammer, Triumvirate for Li Ming, as usually a great choice for Battlefield of Eternity. But down at the bottom of the map, we have not only additional hits against heroes, but the wall has been destroyed. So some early game success outside of the initial kill for the blue team. Able to get this in. And yeah, in the meantime, we're now having the Immortal instantly getting attacked here. So Suljin is already at it, just trying to murder this thing down here. Very little happening. The red team just doesn't have the same amount of clear and aggression that comes with the long distance range from Chromie, and then of course in addition also Suljin. No level 7 talons yet anywhere. Oh, yeah, that is a bit too much action for Chromie. Yeah, that was 4-on-1, and Chromie is a little bit on the kinky side. But that was too much for her to handle, so she goes down, and that's a glorious kill for the Green Cats, and they are trying to go for a second one. The heal is insane, though! What the hell? They are not able to take Uther down, and Urel dies in the process. Like, check Uther out here. Have a look at Uther. They just can't kill him. There's too much healing. There's just heals coming from everywhere. No chance. And then Urel dies, which is absolutely ridiculous. The halftime show victory has been accomplished. The blue team is now trying to win this objective after all, and they're getting massively close on it. And it seems like they're going to walk away with Immortal #1, and indeed they do. It's a small shield, but it's there. Monkey gets attacked and gets murdered. Monkey down, 3 kills to 1. And the body blocks on Sergeant Hammer. Massive blocks here. And the damage output. And oh my god. Sergeant Hammer gets absolutely crushed, and the ragdoll gets kicked across half the map. Oh boy. Yeah, the hammer learned to fly all of a sudden. But some absolutely crazy sustain coming out of the blue team, as you would expect with that triple heal combo. And it's working insanely well. Just look at the gap in experience. They're an entire level ahead. They're breaking through the top lane and go straight for that fort. That was a low shield Immortal, and they're getting massive value out of it. Finally, Uther goes down. But just seconds after that, Li Ming is destroyed too. And so is the fort, I might add. So they lose the fort, they lose Li Ming, and this is such a fantastic first objective for Team Rip. At least it was, and then Suljin died too. Oh, can they get a hit here? Maybe! And Ana is able to kill Lucio. Basilisco is trying to escape and makes it! No way! The plays all of a sudden. Monkey getting attacked as well. Sven is looking to see if he can maybe come in and get another kill. But this is getting bananas. And over here, the stun against Wit, and he goes down too. What is happening in this game? Check this one out. Lucio gets attacked, and Ana just with a big pew 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 and is able to get out. Absolutely incredible. I love it. Fantastic. Oh my god. Game number 2 in this series is already a blast. Yeah, but we are hitting level 10 now, and that's a 1 level advantage still for the blue team. Bloodlust for Rhaegar. I mean, again, at this point you don't have to go for all of the sustained talents on level 10. You can go for a bit more aggression if you have this many, and we see more of it coming out with a Divine Storm for Uther, who immediately starts to join the fun here. Suljin with 11 stacks now on his baseline. It's nothing crazy really, but they're getting the kills also with the help of other heroes, and Suljin will eventually get there. He needs 4 more until he gets the range increase. He has Bloodlust, and Urel is gone. Never fight without a level 10 ability. That's essentially what we're looking for here. But yeah, this is getting nasty. The red team needs the heroics. They absolutely need the heroics here. There is just nothing that they can do as long as they don't have a way to fight on an even playing field when it comes to the talents themselves. So here comes the attack against the Immortal. The halftime show victory is already there, and it's starting to get really tricky for the red team. The Green Cats, they need to win some team fights. They need to start winning them quickly. This Immortal is nearly gone, and that's a 100% shield that we're talking about here. They want to at least try and take Uther out, which might be possible for them. But nope, the heals are there. Uther survives. There's the BFG, which just... I mean, it does at least some damage. It hit Chromie, but that's not enough. And this is a huge Immortal. It's very early in the game. We're only 8 minutes in, so this is a very early game Immortal that hasn't scaled properly yet. But there's no denying that the fort will fall 100%. I mean, that one's gone for sure. So at this point, we're having them just crush through that bot lane fort. They're going through that thing like hot butter through cheese. Monkey with a dive on Alarak into the back line. Is that going to be enough to net them a kill? It doesn't really look like it. Once again, the healers are keeping them alive. Here comes the Divine Storm. Alarak is down. Krankle gets killed as well. So at least they're getting a kill here. Suljin with a few more hits, but he also gets the heals. Li Ming mega low. Can they get the kill on her? They're trying, and then Urel coming in from the back, but she gets hit by a sleep dart, and now they're going for Wit again, and he's not going to make it, is he now? Pops his ult, but I think even with that, he's not going to survive. In comes the move from Rhaegar. Urel is gone. The Immortal, after destroying the fort, moves on to chunk down some of the towers here in the wall as well. Team Rip with 10 kills to 4 now. Suljin with 17 stacks, so he has the range increase. Chromie with 28,000 damage, and they get another kill. They take Alarak down. He's gone too, and Suljin is just chunking away with the auto attacks, one after another, being kept alive time and time again by all the supports, as Uther is using his massive amount of AoE clear at the top lane to just obliterate minion wave after minion wave. Huge AoE. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Woodchuck Uther doing his thing here. One axe hit at a time. Now, Chromie still top dog when it comes to the damage output, but Suljin is getting a bit closer here. On the support side, they are also getting some damage out, of course, but it's not enough to... I mean, obviously it's not enough to hold a candle to the do TPS, but still. So now with basically a 2-level advantage, the red team is far out. I mean, look at Sven. Sven is basically side laning this, using the wall to jump out, and now the blue team is showing up at the top lane. The level 13 talent isn't available yet for the cats, as the next objective is about to spawn, but they're getting close on locking that in. Wit here, sleep dart, yep, and they get some damage in. The quest isn't ready, the ult isn't ready for Urel, and she goes down. Urel eliminated just ahead of the objective. It's starting to be a bit of a disaster for the red team. The green cats, they are in trouble and they know it. So now they're trying to chunk down that Immortal as quickly as they can, but obviously there's the full force of Team Rip now on the left side. That halftime show victory is inevitable. So they claim that. Now it's 13 versus 13 and Urel is back. And, well, with that now, the chance to go for the next objective. All the forts have been lost on the side of the red team. They themselves haven't taken a single major structure out of Team Rip yet. So they need to... I mean, again, blue team is in the driver's seat. Green cats, they need to make the move. They need to find the play. They're trying to go for Ana this time. The BFG is hitting nothing. And Timothy is about to fall. Li Ming goes down first. They're coming in with another stun. That's trouble for Sergeant Hammer. Suljin is coming in. They're moving in for Monkey. The entire team is getting chased, and the damage is coming through as Alarak falls. 5 versus 3 on the map now. And while they're going for the Immortal, there's already aggression at the bottom keep. It's slowly starting to lose hit points as the Catapult and the Camp have been moving in for it. Rhaegar is dealing with the top lane pressure. They have level 60 now, even stealing the opponent's Shaman Camp away. And now the chance to use that Immortal at the top lane to go for some significant amount of damage and take the first keep of the game out. They have a 2-level advantage, more than that even, and they have a level 16 talent advantage to boot, which now gives us also no mercy, and they've been showing none already. We got Benediction, and the Wolf build continued and completed with Hunger of the Wolf now in action as well. The red team trying to do what they can. Stun after stun on Lucio, who just gets destroyed. Alarak dives deep. He wants the kill. He can't get it. Again, the sleep dart. Alarak gets wrecked, and they're focusing on Urel again, who also just disappears.
pulls a Houdini, disappears completely, and this might just be game. Only 2 defenders left, and they are brutalizing the red team at this point. The keep is already gone, 17 kills to 4. The triple healer here, absolutely crushing it for Team Rip. They're going through their opponent like hot butter through cheese, aiming straight for the core and taking it down. Green Cats eliminated out of Group A as Team Rip advances to the next round of the losers bracket. GG.